What up, what up? Good morning people. This is your boy. Take care of that background there. Documentary, life, the mic and beyond. So we're going to further elaborate on spirituality from the aspect of I remember distinctly a time that I'll give you my view out here in Maui, Hawaii. Give you my view. I remember distinctly one time from a spirituality standpoint that we were actually in Newark, New Jersey. My wife, now my fiance at the time, we were preparing to go to our wedding. We had basically a destination wedding set for Jamaica, and I remember distinctly we had went and visited a family member before we were departing on our journey. And it was late night. I'll say it had to be about 8, maybe 9 o'clock at night, what have you. And I said I wanted to check the post office box in downtown Newark before we took off. And in that process, we went to the post office box, and on the way down, I think we was forgetting what street that was. I think we was coming down like a street called Halstead or something. It was one of them back streets to get on the main Broad Street. And I noticed I was in my Mustang at the time. I had a black Ford Mustang, 2-door joint, and I was coming down that little side street. This is like really late night, so it's really weird to see someone on the back streets downtown at that night unless some suspects going on. That's mostly, a business area. It's like a commercial business area, so it's no residences too much down that way. So the person that we saw was, he appeared to be like a white kid, what have you. But I noticed that someone was trying to, I guess, pick his pocket or whatever. They was kind of being rough with him, what have you. So it looked kind of strange, like, it looked like they was trying to hold him up or something. So, in Jersey, unlike it is in Arizona, reside at now, it's not like an open carry state, and it's a little more difficult to get legal firearms out in Jersey. I'll say that. You got to go through a significant process, and even after you go through that process, you can't open carry, and it's a certain way it has to be done. So I didn't have any, weapon or anything on me at the time to try to foil it, but I did the best I could. So I said, let me wing back around instead of proceeding to the post office box and see what's going on. So we came back around. As a matter of fact, we was going the wrong way down a one-way. We was on the same street we was coming down, but going the opposite way when we swung around the block. And then they had got the kid to the ground. At first it started out as 3 people, but by the time we swung back around, it was 2. And he was on the ground, so all I had to use was like my headlights and horn. And at the time I had a BlackBerry, so it was a pretty decent BlackBerry, but I was trying to call 911. And it was something going on where you gotta kind of key yourself in, put your PIN, password, whatever, and it had kind of locked up on me. It was buffering, So that I said I get the PIN on his phone, my time of need, but it just so happened my fiance had my wife now had she had the same exact phone, but she was able to get in her phone, so she was able to, call the police. And I'm basically using my headlights and blinking my headlights, honking my horn, letting them know, hey, you know, we see what's going on, you know, try to break it up, bring attention to it, whatever. And it just so happened that we got a little closer. I didn't want to pull up too close to them. If they were strapped, they start shooting in our car or whatever. So as we got a little closer, you know, they took off from the kid and left him on the ground and ran. And then there was police coming in the you know, the opposite direction, but coming the right way on the one way, if that makes sense. And in that process, the kid came to the car. He was, you know, bleeding a little bit. And he said, you know, they just robbed me. Can I get in the car? And I was like, you know, I saw what happened. I said, let me go try to chase them down, and I'll be right back. I said, I don't have room to put you in there because it was like a coupe. And by the time he tried to fit in there, you know, it would have been too late, so to speak. So they would have probably got away, is what I'm saying. So I said, I'll be right back. I'll come back for you. So the police, you know, saw us coming the wrong way, down the wrong way. So we take off, we make that left to go on adjacent street to Broad Street towards Essex County College. And they were running, so I chased them, you know, the wrong way on two different one-ways. Had made two lefts, and we was able to corner them, myself and the police, on the sidewalk. And the police got out and, you know, got them, because what we was told in the aftermath is that it looked like we was doing like a motor vehicle violation, but the call for the help was coming in as they saw us coming the one way down the wrong way. So, you know, they said, you know, they did acknowledge that the call came in, so they were apprehending two people, or at least I was able to assist in apprehending the two people. So I don't have police power, but and then there was a third woman that was walking. She had coupled herself with someone that wasn't even related to the situation, and had got a little further past those persons. But you know, we drove around the block and found her walking somewhere, so they picked her up and the other person. So I had to identify who was who and what was what. So I told them let the one kid go because he didn't have nothing to do with it. But it was the woman and the two dudes. And I remember when we got back to the original scene where we had cornered him, the kid that was being held up was there, and he just cried. He literally cried and said, you know, thank you, you saved my life, you know. And he was going to some college. I think he was going like to King University or something. He was from Union, New Jersey. So, you know, he really had no business in Newark that time of night. You know, trying to go to a party or something he was trying to go to. But be that as it may, you know, you just never know in a circumstance when you will be called to action in this process. As I look and reflect, you never know when you'll be called to action and have to be responsive to something that's going on, and try to step in, and even when you don't want to get involved, you have to get involved with things and do God's work. Because again, it's not about you per se; it's about God's process. So just wanted to share that piece in the spirituality episode. So it's about 7:22 local time here in Hawaii. So you know, we'll continue that process. We'll continue shooting episodes. Again, you all leave your commentary at the bottom. You know, in the comment section, leave your questions, your comments, and we'll get a chance to ask those questions and comments on the live section. So again, Bishop the Overseer out.